So, such as Picasso was with his brush, so was J. Pickens with his wood. We're gonna make a stool seat because I have a stool and it came with a very cheap looking seat. I will show you. Like this, and I don't like it. It's no good for me. So I'm replacing it. Check this out. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna cut this piece of OSB or chipboard into little bitty tiny pieces. And then I'm going to attach them to this piece of ACX plywood. And then I'm gonna pour colored resin into the negative space, then cut out my seat and end up with an extremely original, colorful looking shop stool. I don't want this to look super uniform. I want there to be lots of different kinds of shapes. So before I strip this down into pieces on the table saw, I'm gonna drill some holes in it with a paddle bit. Then when I do rip it down, we'll end up with lots of different looking shapes. Ready? Go. See, I like projects like this because you can get dirty. I'm gonna use my table saw to cut this OSB into strips that are probably 2-ish inches wide, 3 inches wide. Then I can take those strips over to the chop saw and cut angles into them. Here we go. We're good. We're good. So in part 2 of this awesome demonstration, I'm going to attach these pieces of OSB to this piece of plywood. Yeah, so if I put all these pieces in, in it like this, that's cool, and it kind of looks one-dimensional. To give it even more of that 3D, there's wood pieces floating in my resin effect, I'm gonna take one of these, or two of these, onto this sander and just shave a little bit here. All right, let's get some more of these in here. I need to create enough space so that I have enough room to cut this shape out of my plywood. If you don't touch the outside pieces together, this will not work. Your resin will spill out everywhere. So that's something that has to be done like this. Maybe we'll get this one here like that. Now that I have sort of my perimeter made, and everything's set the way I want it to be, I can glue the pieces down so they don't move. Okay, this hot glue gun was chosen for a reason. It's got a really tiny nozzle, which is perfect for getting into these tiny little cracks, just like this. You have to go around the perimeter, and everywhere there is a seam, you have to hot glue that seam closed. Now I'm also just doing the perimeter of this guy, just in case one of these pieces is slightly warped and it tries to leak out the bottom. While this hot glue is drying and cooling off, we're gonna talk plastics. Now, I have here with me some 2-part liquid plastic, or resin, or urethane. This stuff mixes in 2 parts by volume, which means that however much of part A you pour into one cup, you will pour the same amount of B into the other cup, and then you will mix them both into the larger cup. Here's the thing also with working with plastic: make sure that you wear gloves and you do it in a well-ventilated area. All right, with the 2 equal parts, and you can tell one of them is slightly yellow and one is slightly clear, I'm going to use some tint to tint this a color. Tint, not tents. Tents you sleep in, tints you use to color your liquid plastic. I'm gonna put a little bit of white into this yellow one. I always mix my colors in the yellow one because if you're trying to get something really color exact, the yellow will throw it off and the clear will not. So see how it kind of gets a little milky. Then we're gonna add some green. Not too much, that's probably enough. The time that this takes before it cures is called a pot life. So your pot life is very short. So I need to make sure before I mix this together that this board is level. It doesn't have to be, you need to get crazy. All right, so now I can mix the two parts together. We will pour clear in first. And then the green goes in. The trick with working with stuff like this is speed. Once you get it poured, just leave it alone and don't touch it. It will remain shiny if you don't touch it. Once you touch it, you'll mess it up. I say we just gotta wait about, 15 minutes. It's gonna get really hot. It's exothermic plastic. So it gives off heat when it reacts and the chemistry takes on. A lot of heat, not a little bit, but a lot. All right, now it's hardened and I could sand it to make it smooth, but I'm Jay Pickens. I love power tools, so I'm gonna feed it through this amazing planer. Yeah, I dig. Off. Smooth. Check out my stool base. I can now put this up, and I'm just gonna trace around the perimeter of my stool base. Now we have our circle. Okay, so I have a bandsaw, so I can make quick work of this circle, cutting it out that way, but you could also use a jigsaw. I could just stop here, but I kind of want it to just be a little rounded on the top to make it look a little bit more like a seat. So I'm going to use this roundover bit off of my router and just ease the edge. Last but not least, I just want it to have a little shine because the shine is going to make it pop against the black stool. To do that, I'm using a shellac. It's a clear shellac, and there's not a whole lot to this other than this. So the shellac not only makes the color pop, it will protect the wood so that it doesn't get dirty and makes it easy to clean. All right, so with that dry, I can put this down, screw it in. Nobody else east of the Mississippi has a stool like this. I dig.